Alright. What's up? Here, let me move the camera around a little bit. A little bit like this. Good enough. How's it going? Just chilling. Having some time to myself today. What's it? Jewel, my girlfriend, went to Toronto last night to go to a concert or a show. I guess it was a small artist show with one of her friends. So I just been spending some time alone. I've been cleaning up, doing some chores, the usual. And I've been streaming a decent amount. What I've been like streaming, looking at, is I was breaking down the cryptic Vegas Fear message that I saw, and I don't know. I've been thinking about like I don't know if I've been thinking more about the message itself or just like more what it means and just people in general and seeing how like ignorance is bliss and I don't know. There's so many people out there like you can have a conversation with them, you can just talk to them, but the second you start bringing up anything deeper, they just completely shut off. And I guess to a certain extent it's like you don't need to talk about that stuff, but like at the end of the day that's kind of the stuff that interests me. I don't really want to have like these surface level conversations because I worked in total probably like 5-6 years now of like customer service, or at least jobs where I had to deal with either customers or coworkers like pretty much the whole shift or all the time, and it just is draining, man. Like, and not only is it draining just talking to people, but it's also draining when it's new people all the time. It's never like, I guess if it's a coworker, it's not gonna be like, sure, you can talk about, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's either all new and it's all small talk, little stuff. You're helping the customer, whoever, find the stuff they need to, or like when I was working at the gas station, you're just helping them out by pumping their gas, giving them service, whatever. But then with the coworkers, it just turned into the same old shit, but you're never really talking about deeper shit. It's just like, oh, hey, how are you? Good. You? Yeah, good. How's this? How's that been? Like, oh, you said you were gonna do this last week. How was that? Like, I don't know. It's all just boring. So when I see something like this fear message, it intrigues me because my brain wants to ask questions, and it's not like it does want to ask questions with normal people, everyday people that I talk to, but it's like, where's the chance or the opportunity to kind of bring that up, because conversations are already so short that you don't want to, like, in the 2 seconds you're saying hi to someone, you don't want to go like, so what do you think about God and existence and death and all of that. It's like, really, we want to go into this right now when we're passing each other on the street kind of thing? Like, I don't know. It would be nice to find places where people wanted to have deeper conversations, where people wanted to talk about shit. And then sometimes even you find those places and it's still the individuals and who they are as people and what they find interesting and all that, but it's like, very rarely do you, oh sorry, peace in the litter box. Very rarely do you find people that can either talk about a variety of things, an array of topics, or people who are willing to go into these deeper topics, like people who are even interested in looking at the big picture at all, right? Peace, what's up, baby? What's up? You got your wet food? You got your wet food and you went to the bathroom? Don't do it. Hey. No, baby. Okay. on the carpet, man. I know. I know. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, baby. Okay, now I gotta wash my hands. Okay. Sorry, we're already 6 minutes into it, so I'm not going to restart the video now. But sometimes having a pet is literally like having a baby. Because she went to the bathroom, and I don't want her wiping her ass on the carpet. So we got these, like, pet-friendly, pH-balanced wipes. So we're not using, like, baby wipes that are different pH balance or, like, disinfectant wipes or anything like that. We're using the proper thing. Clean her butt. And then if she wants to lick it clean after, so be it. At least we wiped most of the, you know, the worst of it off. And then she's, what's up, baby? What's up? I love you. Good girl. And then if she wants to clean the rest herself, she can. Hey. And then sometimes she does it anyways. So at least in that case, her ass was a bit cleaner when she wipes it on the carpet, and then we gotta fucking wipe the carpet later, but that's okay. You know? At least once a week, you know, you give it a wipe, disinfectant, whatever, and there you go. But then, even that, man, it's like, makes me not want to have carpet. Which is, it's like we have hardwood or tile in the whole apartment except right at the front doors, like the welcome mat thing. So I guess it's gonna get dirty anyways, like especially through the winter, you're bringing in all that like salt or sand or whatever the fuck's out there. But then she's not cleaning it because she's wiping her ass on the, you know, human shit. Am I right? Looking at other animals thinking they're stupid when we make just as many stupid mistakes, you know what I mean? But that being said, pack up a toke, let's rip. If you're not session, you best be blessing. That's what I say on the streams, right? I've been streaming more. Don't forget to use the sploof if you're smoking inside so it don't smell as bad. Hit a fan or the window, whatever, and then you don't get the stale smoke smell, you know? But I love and appreciate y'all for watching these, for, you know, for just being alive. I appreciate that you're here and watching this, and just, life is hard, you know? Take it easy sometimes. Don't stress yourself out. Be grateful for what you have instead of thinking you need something else or you need more or whatever the case. Like, you're good. So that being said, cheers to the family, cheers to myself, because that's all there is. We're all made of water, we're all made of carbon, same shit as the universe. We all bleed the same color. We got a lot more similarities than differences, and I'm gonna keep saying it till people realize it. Fair? That being said, cheers. That's nice, man. That's nice. They're selling chocolate. Ooh. But yeah, what's been new? What's been new? I fucked up my lip a little bit. Oh, you can't see it. It's hard to see, but a little ingrown hair. I took the hair out, and then I touched the spot, and it kept like pushing juice out, basically. TMI. Sorry if that's TMI, I should say. But I kept touching it, and then it got bigger, so now it's just a fucking scab right next to my lip. So if I open my mouth too wide, it kills, and then it opens up again. It's not too bad now, because it's getting to the end of it. It's trying to heal up, but yeah, you know. What else has been new? I got a papaya plant here. Let me pick this up quick. Got a papaya plant here. She's doing good too. Look at that. Woke up to a little flower on her. Isn't that nice? You're doing so good. Good job, man. And there's some other ones there. So that's pretty sick. I like that. And then it sucks that you can't see it on the stream, but I got the ones on the shelf there. So at least there's a little bit of greenery in the shot, and then I'm looking out the window. I got a tree right there, so I'm seeing green, you know. But yeah, you know, just be thankful for the little things, and you know, don't get caught up on where you think you should be. You don't need to be nowhere, man. You just living life, existing. Try to care about other people, but don't, like, I don't know, it's a hard balance for me especially. I don't know if other people are going to relate to this, but it's definitely a hard balance between, like, giving a shit about people in general. Because here's my thing, it's like, I don't want to play favorites. So if I don't like somebody, I really, like, I can see problems in everybody, but I can see the good in everyone, right? And it's about focusing on the good rather than the bad, focusing on the positives and the benefits they have to the world rather than, you know, mistakes or the negatives that they bring. And that's why, you know, I may try to distance myself from society because, shit, at the end of the day, I know sometimes I don't have the best energy, and I feel bad for Jewel because sometimes I put that on her, but it's like I don't want to be putting that on the world as a whole, you know what I mean? I'd rather be like a net positive to the world than a net negative and give more than I take kind of thing. So it's like, that's why lately I've been doing art out of trash, because it's like, instead of throwing more stuff out, let's try to create with it, let's try to make something with it. And a lot of the pieces, like, some of them turn into collages and they look nice. Like, I posted the one of the, like, scenic view by the water. I called it Seaside. It's up on my Instagram, Aqua.ofs, if you want to check that out. But then there are other pieces, I look at them and I go, oh yeah, like, it does just kind of look like trash, but at the end of the day, it's the feeling I got from making it, and then other people can interpret it as just trash, or they can see, you know, a message, they can see the intention, they can see the energy put into it. Like, it's not for nothing, you know? And I don't know, I feel like that's like a lot of people. It's like, one man's trash is another's treasure, and if I'm over here making art out of treasure, people could look at it, or making art out of trash, sorry, people could look at it as treasure, or they could see it as just what it is, right? But, you know, with how our world is, I think people focus on the surface value and the superficiality of it all than, you know, focusing on what truly matters. And, like, another thing that pissed me off is that, like, it's never the average person. Like, it's almost, yeah, it's never the average person that's, like, starting wars, or, like, bro, people are just living their lives, doing whatever, and then depending on where you live, you're getting affected by other people's bullshit, like in Gaza, Israel, whatever, like in Ukraine, like in, you know, Taiwan. I'm sure they're gonna have some shit popping off soon, but it's just like, why? Like, you hear all these people, like, I don't know, you hear all these like astronauts that go into space, or people who do spacewalks, and they go like, yeah, you know, we have all these problems down on Earth, but, like, it's really all we got, right? Like, we just have this fucking rock out in space, if you want to believe the science, right? Which, you know, I don't see very much, like, I don't know. I've seen evidence disproving it and a decent amount of flat earth shit now, and it's like, how do we know? We're not scientists. We're just listening to the scientists because people are getting an education in whatever field, but it's like, what I've learned from my 22 years on this planet, damn near 23 now, is that, like, you can just pay anybody to say whatever. If you want a scientist to say some sort of result, like, you gotta look at the people with the money and go, like, where's the money going? What are they trying to push? And then what is the outcome for them? Right? Like, I don't know. I feel like with space, it gets to the point where it's like, why? I feel like the idea of space and us being like this rock, this planet, it should be like more unifying than anything. But it it almost has the opposite effect. Like, oh, we see all this space and it's like, oh, there's nothing out there or whatever. It's like, okay, so even more reason. Like, whether there's other planets with other life or not, isn't that all the more reason to kind of like cherish what we have on this planet, make it great, make it something worth showing off if there are other planets with other species? Like, look at what we can do. We could get all our people on the same page, not talking like one world government or whatever, but just caring about each other, focusing on shit that like actually matters for our life and survival rather than just like money, capitalism. You know what I mean? What's up, baby beans? You gonna come on the desk and say, hey? Yeah? Maybe? No, she hopping down. You're good, baby. Well, that's why I say what I do, right? That's what I do. What I do. That's what I say. What I say. That's why I make my music. That's why I do these streams and these podcasts. Like, I'm just doing shit for me. I'm just living my life. Live and let live. Try not to affect other people, fuck other people over. But, the money is definitely a piss off. The fact that, I heard a saying a long time ago that's, you either work to make your dream happen or you work to make somebody else's. But, you're always working. It's never like, I don't know, it feels like it's hard to catch a break or like get time off or just, if all these companies and corporations only care about the profits, you would think that they would care about their employees because those are the ones that are making them their profits. But again, it's more a method of enslavement than anything, because how many people are living paycheck to paycheck? How many people are just like, their whole life is based off the fiction of currency and the fact that this money means anything, but we keep devaluing it, printing more. So it's like, if you want to claim that this shit has value, give it value. Don't just keep devaluing it. Like, I don't know. If you want to talk about money, it's like gold. That has uses and it's fucking rare or whatever. It's valuable because of how rare it is. Its value comes from like what you can do with it, right? But with money, it's just a means of trade. It's not. That's why you see these countries that like, oh, their currency doesn't mean anything and they're falling apart because they keep devaluing it to the point where people. I seen a video, I think it was Venezuela, guys standing in the fucking dumpster throwing the money up. It doesn't matter because the money doesn't have any value. Like, what are you gonna do at that point when people who are working at McDonald's, fast food jobs, people who are working at grocery stores and shit, it's like, what life skills do you have? Sure, you can talk to people, you can communicate, but you know how to make shelter? You know how to hunt or cook for yourself? Like, do you know how to keep yourself alive without relying on anybody else? You know what I mean? And it just, when I started thinking about that shit, it's like everything else just becomes so trivial because the answer is no. So don't you think, like, why don't people realize that maybe we should be putting more time and energy into that shit instead of, everything we are. Why are we not trying to focus on our survival and our growth as a race of people, just like human race, not talking about, any one country, human race, people in general as a species? Why are we not focusing on our growth and evolution side by side with the planet, with the animals and the ecosystem on it? Like, I don't know. Like, I see all these corporations talking about, oh, green energy and all this greenwashing, and it's like, okay, but how much have y'all polluted the planet, making money off the backs of everybody else and all this shit just to say that? It's like, you're spitting in our fucking face, man. So I just wish I could meet these, the CEOs and shit and spit right back in theirs, but, that's the eye for an eye mentality. That's not how you really solve any problems. But, those people in power, like the CEOs and shit, they're fucking pussies anyways. They can't do shit for themselves. They're, like a lot of them, you look at, what's his name? The Nickelodeon guy. Fuck. I can't remember his name now, but, you know who I mean. Like, all these people, they're just fucking wastes of life. They can't do shit. Like, they're fucking pathetic, and then they feel bad for themselves, or they feel like they're not manly enough, or they're not this, or they're not that, all fucking social constructs of the brain, and then they turn into bullies, and they gotta make other people feel like shit, because they feel like shit. And it's like, well, are you solving the problem of you feeling like shit, or are you perpetuating that, adding more negativity to the world than positivity? Right? Like, I don't know, it just, that's why, I don't know, I feel like there is good and bad in the world and the universe. They like karma and dharma, and just like what you choose to do with your time. I'm pretty sure even in Christianity, or maybe it's an Eastern religion like Buddhism, or no, it wouldn't be that one. Maybe it's in the Quran, like the Muslims talk about, like, if you live your life preaching false information, in the afterlife, or when you meet like the higher version of yourself, whatever they deify, right, you could get punished for it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like you should only get punished if you know it's wrong, right? Because I feel like there would be people trying to do the right thing, accidentally saying the wrong thing that they had been taught, thinking it's helping people or saving people. You see it a lot in Christianity and religion, whatever, like Jehovah's Witness. Oh, let us try and save you, and you'll have a better chance of getting into heaven. Is this not heaven right now? Heaven and hell, whatever you make of it, right? Like, it, I don't know. I feel like you die and you just reincarnate. Like, you shut your eyes in one life. Sure, you might have your soul, your spirit, whatever, but then what happens when a baby opens its eyes for the first time, or it's first, like, conceived? You know what I mean? What happens then? Where does that, like, obviously it's the sperm meeting the egg and it creates whatever, but where does that soul come from? Where does that energy come from? Obviously it's from the two parents, but there has to be some sort of, like, I feel like there has to be some sort of, like, you're getting charged up by the ether, or whatever it is. But then who knows, looking at chickens, if you have only hens and no rooster to fertilize the eggs, then they don't become children, right? They're unfertilized, so they just stay eggs. And then that's how we get source of protein, vitamins, minerals, whatever you want to talk about. But I don't know. I feel like there's a certain level of, like, life force or energy or soul that comes with that, like, you know what I mean? And then you can't even give the argument for being, like, vegan anymore, because plants have consciousness as well. I've seen videos proving it. Like, you can put a leaf on a table and scan it. I forget what the tech is, or if it's light, or if it's It's basically like reading the energy of it, but I forget what the name of the machine is. And then if you cut the leaf, you'll see the residual energy of the leaf, where it was, like the exact pattern of it, even in the point where the leaf isn't anymore. So it's like, does that explain ghosts? Does that explain like how we're all connected, or that there is some sort of like, is dark matter some sort of like field for energy to move through? You know what I mean? Like, even just talking about states of matter, like in high school they only teach you three, and then you find out, oh, you can superheat gas to make plasma, which I'm pretty sure they say that's most of space or whatever. And then what if dark matter's like the fifth state of matter, once you like speed it up or some shit like that, like if you superheat it more or some shit, I don't know. Because in a vacuum you get cold, which if it's plasma it would turn into a solid, no? Right? Like, so that's why I don't know. And then that leads me to like that space is fake and that we don't actually go up, because of how many videos are like, because NASA has a pool where they train the astronauts, and they have a complete replica space station in the pool, probably for training the spacewalks, whatever. Sure, that makes sense. But then so many videos, even like videos on the space station, you'll see astronauts being green screen transitioned in, where they're just phasing in out of nowhere, and then they might say, oh, it was technical difficulties or like malfunction in the video because it's out in space, whatever, in the connection. But it's like, where the fuck do we get like GPS and what's it, data from? It's like, yeah, you need to have the antenna to receive the signal, but how many fucking satellites we got flying around, man? If you look at Earth, it probably looks like it's covered in a fucking shield or some shit, like a force field, with all the satellites being the connecting points, whatever. But bro, there's so many fucking satellites up there and people don't even realize. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a statistic, if you shoot a rocket up, you have to know where all the satellites are, because there's such a high chance that a fucking rocket would hit one because of how they're circling and the speed, and then it would just fuck everything up. But it's like, bro, think about how small a rocket is when you talk about space and like how big the Earth is, and there's a pretty good chance you're gonna hit one if you send some shit up. It's like, that's a lot of fucking satellites, man. You know what I mean? Like, and then just talking about like, oh, if you want to get to the space station, you have to launch the rocket at a certain time because of where the Earth is and then the space station, so it'll move, and then you're on the other side of the globe from it. Like, I don't know. It's interesting, but again, I'm not a scientist, so I can't say definitively if shit is a globe, if we've been to the moon, if we gone to space, or if shit is actually flat, and you get to a point where there is just like, it ripples out from a center point and you got other places, you know what I mean? I think Atlantis was definitely on Earth, you can see it. I think it's in Africa. There was a section of a city with rings, and then it all got like pulled out, and you can see the water erosion when you zoom out with satellite imaging, GPS, whatever. But I've seen that talked about on multiple podcasts. Joe Rogan and Danny Jones. Danny Jones is a new Joe Rogan, in my opinion. Like, man, the people he has on there, absolutely amazing. And, you know, hopefully, I would love to be able to get to that point with this. But who knows? You know, it takes time. It takes growth. I might post a reel about this. I remember the first friend I ever mentioned music to, we were playing COD, we were on Xbox, so we had the headsets connected, right? And I said, you think I could do music? Because this was like during 2015, 2016, all the SoundCloud rappers were popping. Actually, yeah, it would have been 2016 to 2018, because then I started really making music in 2019. But the first thing, like, I remember it so vividly. I said, you think I can make rap? Like, you think I can make rap music? He just goes, huh, no. And it's like, bro, if I just think about that to where I am now, what is that, 6-7 years later now, I don't talk to that friend anymore. I don't play Call of Duty. I still play Xbox with the homies I have now. We'll play Fortnite, whatever else. Because honestly, that shit's more fun. I like the third person more than first person. Whatever, right? Less sweaty competition bullshit. So I'll still play Xbox, but I don't play COD anymore. I don't talk to that homie anymore, and now I'm consistently making music. So who, like, who was right there? You know, it's like the person with the vision and the drive to do something, or the friend that didn't believe. You know what I mean? And at that time, homie was doing good in hockey. He got drafted to the from going from a normal kid to like the first level under like OHL or AHL, I think, some shit like that. But it's like the first level before like farm teams and the NHL. So I was thinking like, man, if I grow up, man's still playing and he's on a team and I have kids or I have friends, like, bro, I'm gonna bring him to the games and be like, that motherfucker, I knew him. I played COD with him. Like, we went to school together. We had sleepovers all the time. Like, that's my bro. It's like, I don't know. Time really shows who your friends are. Because I still talk to, that was in elementary school, right? All that shit. I still seen him and talked to him a bit through high school, but rarely, if ever. Now it's past high school. I made new homies in high school that I still talk to after high school. So it's like, man, so many people are just fake as fuck. And then it reminds me, it's like, why do I want to waste my time with that? Right? It just, life is short, and I got so much I want to achieve and accomplish, so why would I waste my time on people who don't have the same visions or the same drive, you know? And I will say, sometimes it also does cheese me that I'll have such a drive and enthusiasm that I can even try and give that to other people and try and encourage them to do shit. But it's up to them, and if they don't want to do it, I can keep trying to encourage them. If they do it, I'm gonna give them, like, hell yeah, man, you got that shit's sick. Keep grinding, keep progressing. But they have to start, right? They have to put that one foot in front of the other. And I would love to just, like, give them a kick in the ass somehow and help them get started. But again, it's like, I have so much drive and enthusiasm that if other people don't have that or they don't have a vision, okay, so be it. I can't really help you then, because I can be your hype man, but if you ain't doing something worth hyping, I can be your, like, I'll be your homie, but, like, I don't know, it's even work, I guess, is something worth hyping, and new jobs and raises and all that's good, but it's like, man, I want people to be focused on the shit they really want to do with their life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's so hard to like explain it to people. Like, I feel like they understand, but then when it comes to their own life, they kind of lose that, like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, or I like all this and that. They're making excuses. Like, if you really think, what do you want to do with your time? Your body's going to tell you. Whether it's eat food, whether it's do chores, whether it's, you know, look for work, whatever. My body tells me I should be looking for work, and that's like, in a sense, I am working. I'm making content. I'm trying to play the long game and work on that, like, gradual, residual income, slow burn, quantity over quality to start, and then the further you get, the more it flips to quality over quantity. You know what I mean? But at the start, you just gotta throw shit at the wall till it works. And then once it starts working, okay, and now you leverage that. Now you put, you know, now you figure out how to run it like a business instead of just like a social media page or whatever it is, you know? And it's like, I see the vision. I see this shit like I'm a CEO running a company, like my life's a company, but I don't have the capital, I don't have the money to put into it. You gotta spend money to make money. That's just like capitalism 101, fucking bullshit. But I also don't have employees. You gotta do everything yourself. You gotta learn how to do that shit from the ground up. And you better have a strong base and not just be like everybody else building the house of cards, that just one bad wind, one storm, gonna knock that shit down, and you gotta build it up again. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why one of the Danny Jones episodes I seen recently was two CIA guys talking, and the one was talking about, oh yeah, this is the best house of cards we have in the States, and we gotta keep up this kind of illusion of democracy and whatever to get to that goal. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't have a strong base, might as well knock it down now, start over, do it right, build a proper base, and then you're gonna build a fucking tower as big as you want. Then you get fucking Tower Babel, and, you know, God might come down and smite you, but, you know, if you're working together, truly trying to, like, help people and find, you know, benefit for everyone, how can God smite you? It's like you're just trying to do what's best for you and your people. Sorry you're not being enslaved to the way it is, but it's like, I don't know. Was Christianity just invented for, like, to perpetuate slavery similarly to money? You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't want to go too far down rabbit holes and shit. I make these so that my voice can, you know, kind of live forever if anything ever happened, or one day we're all aging. We all have a day where it will come to an end. We just don't know when, and we're just living till then. But hopefully my voice can be, you know, some sort of logic for this generation, the next, however many are to come before we really fuck it up bad or something happens that, you know, can't come back from. And then we'll see how much of it sticks around, because, man, knowledge is one of those things, like, how do you store knowledge, you know? You got it up here. Books deteriorate over time. Technology deteriorates over time. Like, if you're not taking care of it, maintaining it, upgrading it, whatever it is, that's gonna go over time. Even your brain, man, goes over time. So maybe that's just part of it. It's like, maybe there is no way to store knowledge. Maybe it is just like you have to talk to people, and you have to make sure it's like so stuck in people's brains that they can't forget, right? So stuck in people's brains that for generations, sorry, they got fire trucks going outside, but so stuck in people's brains that, one sec. Yeah, so stuck in people's brains that for generations you can know a name or a story without even knowing where it comes from or why you're talking about it. You know what I mean? It's like maybe that's the only way to truly save information. But then if we lose that connection and talking to people, you know, where's that gonna go? And that's why I make these, because I feel like I'm looking at the state of the world. I'm a philosopher, or I would say I like the study of philosophy, anthropology, like all of it, man. I like learning, I like looking and thinking about shit, but so rarely do I get another person to talk about shit with, you know what I mean? So that's why I can appreciate the guests I've had on this podcast, and hopefully the ones I will have in the future. Everybody I just meet on the street, and even if you have a short conversation, but it's a good one, it's worth it. Just, you know, drop that shit. There goes my fidget toy. But yeah, I am gonna leave this one here, and then probably do some more streaming. Actually, I'll probably make a video, like a finale, conclusion to the Vegas Fear cryptic message series I've been doing, because they were VODs of the stream, but now I can do like a more proper finalized one with my thoughts. And in a sense, maybe this is also kind of my thoughts after looking at all that, you know what I mean? So as I do, I gotta leave this here. We gotta keep living life. Time never stops coming at you like a fish in a river. You just hope you don't get pulled out, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'll leave it here for now. I love you. Stay safe. Good luck. Easy.